Okay, sounds like we're recording underway. Yeah, again, welcome. As you all know, this is a press conference to celebrate the first ever Big 12 football game in London. Very appreciative and grateful of everyone at Arizona State, Kansas, my colleagues at the Big 12 and the Union Jack team for getting this underway. I think this will be a great opportunity for the Big 12 to continue to showcase why international growth is so important for it. We'll start with opening remarks from key stakeholders. Start with Commissioner Yormark, then we will go Travis Goff from Kansas and Graham Rossini from Arizona State. After their opening remarks, we'll kick it off to questions. I'll remind you again before them, but please, when you do ask questions, use the hand raise function, announce name and corresponding outlet. That would be much appreciated. And with that said, Commissioner Yormark, we'll start with you.
Thank you, Clark, and nice to see everyone. I guess to most of you, it's a good afternoon, but for some of you, it's good evening. But thank you for joining us. I want to start off by thanking the Union Jack team, obviously Arizona State and Kansas for making this possible. I have often said I want to be the most relevant collegiate athletics conference internationally. In the short term, playing games internationally provides a great student-athlete experience. It certainly will raise the global profile of our conference. It drives meaningful enrollment when we could put our flags in London and in a new marketplace. And it certainly will help in recruitment. In the long term, being globally relevant will help us monetize our international media rights. And certainly that'll be something I look forward to in our next TV deal and something that we're not doing currently. While college football is new to London, American football as a whole certainly is not. You know, the NFL, as all of you know, has had a massive amount of success with games in London for nearly 20 years. This has led to the NFL even opening an office there in London. This month alone, I think there's 3 games being played in London this fall. So the appetite and fan interest is certainly there, and we are excited to be the first ones to introduce London to college football. We're looking forward to leaning in on the NFL and the Jaguars specifically as we identify best practices that can be applied to our game. In closing, I really want to thank the Union Jack team again for embracing the Big 12 and giving us this wonderful opportunity. I want to thank our 2 institutions, Arizona State, Kansas, our ADs, Graham and Travis. Looking forward to working with you and being partners with you in this incredible moment. So thank you, Clark.
Wonderful. And next up, we'll have Travis Goff from Kansas.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for being on with us today. A few thank yous as well from my end to Brett and the league for really helping us set our sights higher, and in this case, globally and internationally. To the Union Jack Classic team, they've been outstanding, in particular, Brian Dubisky, Rob Yao, Thomas Hensey, just a great partnership thus far. We're excited to continue working with them. To our chancellor here, Doug Girard, for his leadership, his vision, his support of this certainly, and to Coach Leipold as well for having the energy and excitement that's important to make this kind of game a reality. And then to Graham, Coach Dillingham, and our friends at Arizona State, we're excited to team up with you guys for this first ever opportunity. As Brett said, there's a lot of kind of broader perspectives as to why this is of exceptional benefit to the league and to our institutions. Our student athletes, our young men in this case, are going to have a special experience, one that so many of them have never had before offered to them. And I think it's important to reemphasize that aspect, the learnings, the cultural experiences that are provided them. I similarly see it as well for our fans. I mean, really a special chance for Jayhawks, certainly across our country, and then globally to unite in one of the more, special, renowned cities in the world with an incredible history. We're in a really exciting time as we continue to build Kansas football. We think, as we've talked about the growth of the program, the investment that we've made, namely with our new stadium and that continued trajectory, this is in a lot of ways a fitting next step and a testament to the progress that's been made at Kansas. There's a few things that I'd want to point out as the home team to the group to emphasize that makes this really unique as to why this fits so well for University of Kansas in 2026. Number one, we have 7 home games scheduled next year in Lawrence. This would, of course, bump us down to 6 games. That's long been kind of a threshold set of games that it's really important to host in your own community, economically, for your student body, for your fans. So we continue to hit that 6-game home mark next fall in Lawrence. Secondly, we're going to be under significant construction with phase 2 in the new east side of our stadium, which of course means reduced capacity. So while we'll play in Lawrence at the new booth, we'll have a reduced capacity environment, and the economics of that come into play as we pondered this decision to move a home game to London. And I would just emphasize this is a financially beneficial outcome for the University of Kansas. This is of greater benefit for this one game to be in London financially than it would be for us to be in a reduced capacity environment here in Lawrence. We've got a great story to tell. We're excited to do that globally around the University of Kansas and this continued growing football program. With all that said, I'll turn it over to my friend, Graham Rossini, who I'm told also can pull off a mean British accent. Graham from Arizona State.
That is not true. But nevertheless, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Really excited to join Commissioner Yormark and Travis. The Big 12, University of Kansas, Arizona State University, is really excited to join the Union Jack Classic. We'll reiterate a lot of the same comments and thank yous that you've heard. We're proud to be a part of this incredible event. First game in London at historic Wembley Stadium, one of the world's most famous stadiums, and really look at sports as the ultimate connection tool. And so when we were approached by Brian, Thomas, and Rob with the chance to participate in consultation with our head coach, Kenny Dillingham, our president, Dr. Michael Crow, we just felt like this was a great opportunity to do a lot of what you've already heard. Continue to build the brand of the Big 12 as a conference. We've been united as 16 member institutions in that effort since the moment we joined. We feel like we've got a very entertaining, up-tempo, exciting style of football that we're excited to debut across the pond and let the rest of the world see. And for our own program, coming off a Big 12 championship, coming off our first appearance in the college football playoff, building the momentum, creating the commitment, increasing the commitment that we're making into our own football program, and giving the exposure that our program will get by playing in such a world-class event. Again, sports is the world's greatest connection tool. And so for us to be able to use this platform and this game to illuminate the incredible work that's happening here at Arizona State University means a lot to us. We've got students from over 165 countries. That's 85% of the world's countries enrolled at ASU. We've got almost 18,000 students with us here in Arizona. And so this is another great effort for us to extend our brand as an institution internationally in a way that very few moments can present this kind of connection. We're also already underway with the presence in London through Teddy London, the London Engineering and Design Institute. It's been a great partnership for us with King's College there in London and the University of New South Wales in Sydney. And so our presence in London will continue to grow through the effort in the Union Jack Classic, and excited to be a part of the game with Kansas and the Big 12.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner Yormark, Travis, and Graham. Okay, we've got about 12 to 15 minutes for questions. Please use the hand raise function, name, corresponding outlet. We'll see how quick I am at recognizing hand putting it up, because I don't see any yet. Henry, you're the first one, so you get to go. Henry Greenstein, please.
Thank you. Yeah, Henry Greenstein, Lawrence Journal World and KUSports.com. Just for the ADs, how did you guys deal with the games that you had previously scheduled for this date?
I'm happy to jump in there first, Graham. Still working on a few intricacies of that. In fact, we have currently a non-conference game scheduled for week 3. We have a waiver approved on Kansas's end to move that to week 0. The opponent has submitted a waiver as well to move to week 0 to play here in Lawrence. We're hopeful that Football Oversight Committee sees this, kind of, again, global opportunity to elevate the game on that international stage, and that waiver would be approved for week 0 here in Lawrence. If not, we have worked hard to create an alternative path to move that game to. So without getting into the nitty gritty, we do have a backup plan in place.
Yeah, and for ASU, we were scheduled with University of Hawaii for week 3, and we're very thankful for their support and cooperation in adjusting the game date. We'll most likely move that game to week 5 or week 6 of next season. And that was a big collaboration between Scott Draper at the Big 12 office. The Mountain West Conference was very cooperative. And I think everybody understanding what this moment means for college football and finding creative solutions to make week 3 available.
Great. Let's go to Matt Brown from Extra Points next.
Thank you. This question really, I think, could be for any of the 3 gentlemen here. As I've talked with other folks on campus, one of the difficulties that I hear about playing games overseas or in other countries is the concern about giving up that local gate, and missing out on that home game. And this seems like a perfect situation where you have construction in Lawrence and already 7 home games, but that might be a difficult thing to scale. I'm wondering if maybe you can tell me a little bit about how the conference is looking to create other circumstances to pursue international events and be relevant globally, without necessarily having to have a once in 100-year stadium renovation.
Brett, you want to jump in there?
Yeah, I was just unmuting. Sorry for that. So, Matt, thank you for your question. From my perspective, I've taken quite a few teams internationally in my career. As you probably are aware, I was the CEO of the Brooklyn Nets for 16 years. We went to Mexico City as part of a league effort. We went to China multiple occasions, and in fact, we played at the O2 twice. So we know the value of globalizing a franchise and what that means when you think about fan engagement, global profile, and I think it translates very well to what we're trying to accomplish here at the Big 12. I think we can win globally. And winning globally means a lot of different things. It means, how do we raise our profile? How do we create fans around the world? How do we bring our style of play to markets that haven't experienced college football? How do we grow our commercial business? Obviously, there's opportunities to do that globally. And as I said earlier, long term, it's how do we monetize our international TV rights, which we're currently not doing. In fact, no one in the collegiate landscape is doing it. But I think as we grow our brand relevance, we have a real opportunity to do that. Travis also touched on the cultural experience for student athletes, an incredible opportunity. I just returned, in August from a Big 12 game in Dublin. It was unbelievable for all those that were involved, especially the student athletes. It wasn't a city embracing college football, it was a country. And we felt it. And the student athletes that were somewhat leery of going there came back saying, hey, when are we going to Europe again? I mean, it was a wonderful experience, culturally, specifically. So there's a lot of great things that come out of playing globally. In addition to the fact that, enrollment, we have a lot of international students and student athletes, as Graham alluded to. And then recruitment, obviously, 11% of our student athletes in the Big 12 come from a place outside the U.S. So it's a real opportunity for us on lots of different fronts.
Great. Okay, next we will go to Had Rabino.
Yeah, hi, this is Had Rabino from Devil's Digest. This is a question for Graham. Graham, some fans were looking at this, and I think incorrectly, and I'm sure you can validate that, as something that ASU is doing just for financial reasons. Can you shed some light? I mean, in terms of the expenditure over here, is it just really going to be treated as ASU just going to another road game, obviously having more expenses, than the usual road game, or is there some kind of financial gain / benefit that can offset those costs?
Yeah, thanks for the question. I mean, not a financially motivated decision for us by any means. It's more about the enrichment of the student athlete experience, as you've heard both the commissioner and Travis mention. I think we want to win. We want to win the highest level. I say that all the time, but college is still about preparing young people to enter the world as a productive human being and a productive citizen. And so getting a chance to take 105 football players, a coaching staff into a new country, introduce them to new culture, new experiences, what a gift to be able to provide to our program. And I think that's really front and center in our interest in considering international opportunities in any of our sports. We've done this in hockey before. We played internationally in men's basketball. A number of our other sports have done this over time as well. And so I think it starts with how do you create these once in a lifetime experiences for your athletes, for your fan base, for the ASU community? And this is what this opportunity ultimately was most exciting for us to consider, was all that. And we'll make an investment. You know, this is not a normal road trip. Going to London is very different than going to Lawrence. And we've got ways to account for that as we budget, as we plan, but not a financially motivated decision for us to do it. And again, excited that there's a lot of fan interest, and we knew that that would be the case going in. The Arizona Cardinals have played in London before. That was a well-received trip with a football fan base here throughout Arizona. We know there'll be heavy interest. There already is heavy interest based on the DMs and the texts I've been getting today since the news became official. And so we're just excited to give our athletes, our fan base, and ASU this incredible chance to be on a global stage. And Commissioner mentioned the game in Ireland. If you look at the television ratings, if you look at the media equivalency of all the ancillary benefits that come from playing, where all eyes of the football world are on us, all eyes of a nation in England are going to be tuned in and understanding what American college football is all about. And so I think the benefits are always going to be far greater than any finances involved.
And just a quick follow-up, is there going to be a bye week following this game in London?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Graham.
Great, thank you. Next, we'll go to George on sports.
Hey guys, as you can probably hear from the accent, I am from London, born and bred. So George here. I played for 11 years. I thought it'd be good to get a UK voice on for you guys to possibly ask me questions if there's anything you guys wanted to know. But before that, I've actually just come back from Arizona. So massive shout out to the Union Jack Classic guys. I can't say enough about what's going on with this game. I think it's going to be absolutely monumental. I cover all the NFL games here, but internationally as well, including the Super Bowls. So I've seen how it works and I've seen the reception. And I think this, when it comes to college football, from what I've experienced, is unlike anything. We know the NFL is successful. We know what the NFL does, but college football is a different breed on its own. The culture, the atmosphere, the alumni, everything that comes with it. And if you want to go all the way down to tailgates and the fan base and everything involved in that. So I just think this is great. I've had loads of messages already as well. I thought it'd be good to get on here to give a UK representation. I think you're onto a winner. I've been to Arizona. I haven't yet been to Kansas. It was amazing. I was absolutely blown away in every kind of form. It was unreal. Anything unlike I've ever seen. So this is great. I'm excited to be part of it, and I can't wait to be at the game.
Hey, George, let me ask you something. We're looking to
Sure.
beef up our PR efforts when we get to the UK. If you're interested, see Clark, but appreciate the shout out. It was great stuff.
George, I think you just took
Absolutely.
my job. You do my job, but with a better accent. So I'm out of work right now.
I would love to help out, but absolutely, honestly, you're onto a winner. Also, as well, just quickly, we have a league over here called the Bucks League. I don't know if you're aware of it, which is essentially our university league, and that's where I started at university. And this is a great market for them because technically we're looking at like for like. Obviously, it's very different over there in the States, but we're looking at guys and girls who are playing the game at university level. And now for them, this is their chance to basically go and see a game, which is equivalent, but on a much bigger scale. And again, it's not just about that, the alumni and all the expats and the friends and family, people who want to get involved, not just the players who want to go and see this game, but you're looking at a holistic kind of 360 product here. So I think it's great. Honestly, I think you're going to be really shocked at how well this is going to do. And you've chosen the best venue you can pick in Wembley. It doesn't get more iconic than that. So massive congrats again. Big shout out to the Union Jack Classic guys. I cannot wait for this to kick off.
Great. Thank you, George, for your remarks. Dane Palmer, we'll go to you next. I believe from Cronkite, but tell me if I'm wrong.
Yes, sir, from Cronkite News. This one's for Commissioner Yormark. I know being with the Nets for a number of years, going international, now you've been to Dublin, going to London now. Is there anywhere else internationally you really have set in your sights to get Big 12 there? And like you said, keep on growing the international image of college football and the Big 12.
Well, listen, candidly, I haven't identified markets where I want to go to, but when pressed for an answer, I would say that we want to follow the NFL footprint. I think they've been very successful opening up markets and launching markets. You saw that they just did a multi-year deal with Brazil. They've been to Germany, Munich specifically. So I like those markets. And obviously, we're going to be returning to Dublin next year when TCU hosts UNC in August. So excited about some of the moves we're making, but certainly open to doing more when it's appropriate.
Great, thank you, Dane. We'll go to Trevor Butler next.
Trevor Butler from the University Daily Kansan. This is for either Graham or Travis. With this game being week 3 and with both of your teams having already played some games, what's the travel going to look like to get to London following a game week?
Yeah, hey Trevor, thanks for being on. Still working through some of those details. We're at home leading into this game in London. So I don't want to call it a traditional week by any stretch of the imagination, but I wouldn't anticipate us leaving more than a few days before the trip. We want to make sure we get there and get acclimated. Obviously restful. We want to make sure we are able to engage in some of the cultural opportunities that present themselves. But being again a home game that Saturday leading in, I'd ballpark it as a potentially Wednesday departure. Settle in, take in some of the opportunities and the events, and play football. In a lot of ways, it's still a business trip, so to speak.
Hey, Trevor, I think we're a little bit more unique in that we're at Texas A&M the week before, so we're going from a road game to another road game. So we've been looking through a number of scenarios on the way to set up the trip for most success, just understanding that we're already in a different time zone the week before and factoring that in. I think we're lucky that the NFL has done this so many times that we're learning a lot from our relationships at an NFL level. I know our coaching staff's had a number of those conversations. They've also had a chance to talk to Iowa State and K-State, who did that this year, going to Ireland. And so, those are the details that'll develop over the next couple months. But lucky to have a lot of context and feedback from either NFL or other college football teams that have done these international trips before.
Wonderful. Got about 5 minutes left. Let's go to Sam Valenti next. Valenti. Apologies if I butchered.
Hey, it's all good. Yeah. This is Sam Valenti with C-Trace Sports. Commissioner, how important is this for the Big 12 to offer these unique travel experiences to student athletes, like this upcoming game in London and the games in Dublin as well?
Listen, I will tell you that, and I often talk to my ADs about it. College athletics is a big business. But the difference between where I came from and collegiate athletics is this is very much a purpose-driven enterprise. And at the core, it's about the student athlete. And how do we make them and prepare them to be the best version of themselves, whether that's on the field or court or off it. I think cultural experiences like this, as Graham and Travis allude to, they deliver on that promise. And we're excited to provide that opportunity. As Graham said, what a gift. Now, beyond that, there's value for the conference and for our brand and for our profile. And ultimately, long-term, how we can monetize being a globally relevant property. But the most immediate return is the cultural experience for those student athletes. It's once in a lifetime, and we're going to continue to deliver it as best we can.
Excellent. Thank you. Next, we'll go to Nicole from NBC.
Yeah, I think this question is probably for Brett. I'm really interested in this happening, after the season started, because we've seen so many of these big trips happen in week 0. Do you think if this works out well, if the travel ends up being manageable for these teams, that we'll see more of this in season?
Nicole, it's good to see you, by the way.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you. I hope so. Listen, we're a different kind of league, when you think about this conference. In fact, that's our new tagline. But nonetheless, listen, we're going to break some boundaries. We want to be innovative. We want to try new things. I'm excited about this opportunity to play in season a conference game. When we've discussed, the opportunity moving forward beyond year 1 with the Uncle Jack team, we see that there's opportunity to return to Wembley. And we feel very strongly that this is not going to be a one and done, and that we're going to be able to build on this. So we're excited about what the future might be beyond just this game and doing it, conference games in season.
So next, let's do Ben Hook.
Ben Hook, the University Daily Kansan. This is for Brett and Travis, I guess. This is going to Wembley, a bit of a jump from sort of the benchmark for what you've seen in at least capacity of stadiums you've gone to in the Big 12 or in international college football games. What are you sort of looking at in terms of ticket target goals or, sort of numbers, and what sort of feedback did you get going in that this could really pay off?
Well, listen, let me jump in here and then I'll defer to my colleagues.
Sure.
If I'm not mistaken, the venue holds about 80,000 plus, 86,000, I think, for football, if I'm not mistaken. The NFL games that have been hosted at Wembley have done extremely well. The Jaguars' upcoming game, if I looked at the right, reports recently, they've already sold 81,000 tickets. I think there's going to be great demand for this game. The college game, as mentioned earlier, is just incredible. The brand of football that Kansas and Arizona State play is very, very entertaining. And we have fans already in the marketplace. I went online the other day just to look at, are there alumni clubs and chapters? And yes, there are. So the market has a great appetite for football. So we don't have an expectation, if you will, if we're selling out or not, but the expectation is that there'll be a huge fan base there, seeing their first college football game ever in the marketplace. And I'm excited to be a part of it.
Great. All right. We can move quick and get two in. Paul's iPhone number 2.
Hi, yeah, that's me. I'm like George. I'm another man who's born and bred in London. I want to just pick up a little bit on what the commissioner has said. I've covered American sport here in the UK for nearly 15 years now, and the growth has been pretty spectacular. It feels like college sport is maybe just the next natural progression. So I kind of maybe wanted to get an idea off of all of you as to maybe how the next 12 months might look. College football is a massively changing landscape, obviously from year to year, even more so now than ever before. So maybe in terms of educating fans over here in the US about the college aspect, maybe in terms of kind of trying to win some new fans. What are your plans over the next 12 months?
Well, listen, I'll defer to my colleagues, as it relates to the next 12 months. But I can tell you that, I've been here, the commissioner now for 3 years. And I would tell you that Saturdays are becoming bigger than Sundays when you think about college football and the NFL. It's an incredible brand of football. It's exciting, the pageantry, the generational fan base. I mean, it's unbelievable, and it continues to grow. Our ratings this year alone are up 30%. Our fan engagement has never been better, and it continues to grow. And I expect that same trajectory to continue over the course of not just the next 12 months, but the next couple of years. And that's why I think opportunities like this support themselves, because our partners, in London obviously understand the breadth and depth of college football and what it means, not just domestically here, but internationally. And you said earlier, this is probably the next thing when you think about professional or collegiate athletics being the next thing behind pro sports. I totally agree with you there. The next step for us beyond football is how do we globalize basketball too? Because they can be a great catalyst for us when you think about international expansion. So I'm excited about where we're going in the next 12 months. Obviously, the leader is football. But the football in general for this conference continues to grow. The investments are being made, and you're seeing it play out each week. But I'll defer to my colleagues and would love to hear their comments as well.
Yeah, I would just add in briefly, I think there's an incredible opportunity to showcase American college football throughout England, but at the same time, learn from the pageantry of English football. I've been lucky to be part of a EFL League One club in Lincoln City as a board member and have been to England several times. And I'm struck with just the level of affinity and passion for each of the clubs and their local assets, their community, they're cherished within the community. I think there's a lot of similarities between English football and American college football in terms of the pageantry, the kinship, the connection, the ritualistic nature of it. And so I think we want to showcase what's special about American college football to the fans in England, and at the same time learn from that culture, how we can bring ideas back to the States and continue to grow the brand of college football here domestically. So very excited for that reciprocal relationship. Had a chance to do this when I was in Major League Baseball in Australia, and there was a lot with stick and ball sports with cricket and baseball, and finding the similarities, acknowledging the differences, but a lot of the lessons learned that go back and forth when you do events like this.
And we're surely grateful to have the foundation that the NFL has established, right? I think that gives an advantage while two different leagues in many ways, strong foundation in the American game. And then there's certainly things to learn from Aer Lingus and the game that's taken place in Dublin over now many years. Some of the efforts that they've taken to be ingrained, as Brett said, not just there in Dublin, but across the country itself. And then you add in, strategies at Arizona State and strategies at University of Kansas to engage alumni that are distributed all over Europe and all, even to the East. I can't tell you how many different influential supporters, alums, donors have reached out to indicate they've got an office in London in their particular business venture, and how excited they are to activate the folks in their space, in their offices, in the region. And I think it really, again, can transcend Kansas and Arizona State supporters to include people that are in our ecosystems in some way, shape, or form. So lots of different layers. We're excited, I think, to have 9 months, 10 months, 11 months, frankly, to be strategic and to be active, and looking forward to getting over there and engaging as many as possible.
Great, thank you. And special thank you to our UK media joining us. I know it's north of 9:30 there, so grateful for your attendance as well as everyone else's. Matt Brown, finish us out, bring us home.
Okay, I have a quick one. Very much appreciate hearing all of you talk about how exciting it is to build a bigger presence in these markets that have already established that they're interested in American football. You've got students there, potential students there. I'd like to better understand how folks in England and potentially other European markets are able to watch your programs 2 or 3 weeks later, given that it's not as easy to just turn on Fox or ESPN if you happen to be in England or Brazil or Mexico or anywhere else. Where can folks remain connected after they've fallen in love with the game during the Classic?
Well, Matt, let me take that for a minute. We're working very closely with ESPN and Fox, which are our major distribution platforms, to televise and distribute our games internationally. As an example, ESPN just did a deal with The Zone, which obviously is very prominent in the UK, to stream many of our football games, which are currently airing, as well as basketball for the upcoming season. So that is something that, our media group here at the Big 12 is working on very aggressively. Because I think distributing our games and having an opportunity for viewership across the globe to sample and to experience our brand of Big 12 football and basketball is critically important. And we could do a better job at that. We're also very active on social media. We are the #2 conference in America on both Instagram and Twitter. So we are pushing a lot of content out during the game itself, which hopefully people can enjoy around the world. But the games themselves, certainly right now on The Zone, and hopefully more to come.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Clark, is that it for us today, or no? We got to take another one.
No, that's it. I appreciate everyone's time. For the Yanks, have a great afternoon. For our friends overseas, good night, and appreciate you joining. Thanks,
guys. I want to thank the Union Jack team one last time. Great opportunity for all of us to collaborate and work together, and we look forward to building something great. So thank you again.
Okay, thanks all. Appreciate everybody for joining.
Thank you.